Welcome back. I trust we have been able to see from the scripture the kind of work that God had given Nehemiah, and how, when he proceeded with the work, there was challenge and opposition from one Sanballat, and how he was against that work. And if Nehemiah didn't make drastic adjustment to his work, how it would have been frustrated and lacked a fruit. I would have not finished the work. So I've given us 5 questions to help us interact with this passage. And after the lesson, I will not go through this passage again or with you here in class. I want you to look at it in your group interactions and be able to deduce the kind of systems that Nehemiah put in place. Pay careful attention at the challenge and the response that Nehemiah countered each challenge with, and read it as a system that Nehemiah put in place. Read it as a structure that Nehemiah put in place for his vision to be able to proceed. Before the break, I had said I want to introduce a number of structures that we need to look at and develop within our vision. And so here I want to give you one of them is leadership pipeline defined. One of the structure that will support your vision is leadership pipeline defined, or you could say leadership ladder. You know the ladder that you climb up with from down to up. The leadership ladder defined. Before you begin any church planting work or any in a ministry calling and leading a group to do a mission, it is important to develop a leadership pipeline where you prepare for other people to come in, and when they come in, they know at what level have they come in, and at what level can they go next from wherever they are. This is very important, and especially if you are leading a department in the church, if you are leading an organization, or if you are leading a church. And one time you lead church, if you're not doing that already, you need to develop this leadership pipeline. And this does help. It has 2 ways of benefit. Let me see. The first one is that you, as the leader, as the key player, you know at what level you are. I've seen many leaders who are in the church, serving in church, confused, and they don't know where they are, and they don't know where to go from where they are, and it becomes very frustrating for them alone. But also it's also get very frustrating for others who are following them, because sometimes they may feel threatened by seeing another young leader coming up, or another older leader coming up. They think this person is not supposed to be here. They are excelling well, but as a leader, if you provide a leadership pipeline well defined, then you're able to help your teammates to know which role are they playing. A lot of confusion is eradicated. A lot of competition is eradicated, and negative energies, and everybody knows where they are. And if they need to move from where they are, they know what path would they use to go to where they want to be. So, like for example, when I was serving in Muranga, we had a leadership lender for all our pastors, and we would say our pastors can either be, if we had a young person come in and say, I want to church plant in Karogia, we would say, okay, before you do that work, you will begin at a level of a coordinator. So first we will evaluate that person themselves to see, have they led themselves before they even tell us how called they are. is look at their lives, listen to their heart. Do they have a vision? Do they have discipline, the Christian discipline? And so just look at them and be able to gauge and see how much have they led themselves. That's the first step. That as you consider people for mission, as you consider people to join your team, don't be confused. Don't just go looking for anybody out there. And as they come, because God will bring different people, let them know that you're looking for people who can lead themselves. And if they are willing to be helped to lead themselves, so they may come and they may not be in good shape, but then you know where they are. And this leadership pipeline helps you position them and work with them. So you cannot discard people just because they are not where they are supposed to be. But this pipeline that you're going to define helps you know this person is at this level, and I'm going to work with them to the next level. And so we would begin by evaluating their very own lives, practicing the Christian discipleship, discipline, the basic ones, and if yes, then we give them an year of doing a ministry coordination. So at this level, they are just volunteers, and they are given a task, and we say, let's see what you can do with that. And they are supposed to join in a group of peers of the same age and of the same mindset. If they are in college ministry, they need to be seen working with other college students. If they are teenagers, they need to be seen working with teenagers well. And so we go to the next level where they are able to serve in a group. And so when they are serving in a group, they are challenged to lead the group at a point to see what capacities do they have. And so they lead others in a group. And then from there, if they are successful in leading others, then we develop them to another step that is called leading leaders. And this is where they start coaching. We start coaching. We start seeing our team members bringing in others to not just to be taught, not just to be around a group, but they are now raising their own leaders after them. Coaching, that's coaching. When we mean coaching, is training other leaders. So we challenge them to not just be a group leader, but from with that group, identify people who are also gifted and pour your life in them in a way that they can do what you are doing. And then after that, when they have led a small group, then they can probably lead a department. A department has more interaction with other groups. This is an area where several groups are coming together at play. And so they can lead a department, and this it is in this that leadership qualities and discipline vary a lot, and people are exposed to bigger challenges. Again, there's another level, there's another stair, there's another crime that they have achieved. And then after that, then we can call them organization leaders. They can lead a whole organization. And I can assure you that I have seen many leaders, some of you seated there, growing through the steps of leadership pipeline. And now you're holding bigger offices because you have come and matured through a leadership system that was put. Now, maybe you never knew about it. Maybe you knew, half, but you are there and you are growing. So developing a leadership pipeline is a very key, important system in your organization. Each one of you, when your time comes to step out to new grounds, better grounds, I pray that many of you will step out to new and better grounds, that your visions will grow and push you out so that others will fill in those places and be able the ones to carry through. But you will go to a bigger vision bigger place. Basically, the vision grows. It has feet, it has legs. It will take you to India, it will take you to China, it will take you to South Africa, it will take you to South America, and even North America. Some of you will be launched into Europe. But as you are launched, because you have put a leadership pipeline, new guys are coming in with the same vision, and they are providing the synergy, and they are developing, and so the core is not hurt at all. And you don't have to stay there and hold on it and fight for positions, because I've seen many pastors also struggle on releasing ministry and letting other people come in because they never put up a leadership plan. I hope I've gotten this right with you. And if there is any question, I want to move on to the next one, and I hope it can help us clear more. But if not, if you have any questions, please feel free again to email, and I'll be able to give it clarity. That is a leadership ladder you need as a leader to verify. And let me give you some more information and see how this fit in. Once you have defined the types of leaders, the levels of leaders that you need, then you will need to give it a clear language. You need to give it a clear language. So, for example, if you have a person who is coming to work with you in your vision, whether it's church planting, whether it's teens department or Bible study, you have just one person who has said, here I am, I want to work with you, and you've recruited them, and you're saying this person is he's leading himself at this particular time. That's the lowest we can go. Then you call that person a team member. I suggest you call that person a team member, because they're just leading themselves, but you're watching them to see how well are they leading themselves, and growing with them. Then they'll get to a place when they are leading others. They are involved in a small group and actively participating in that self-group. They are leading others. Then you can call that person, I suggest you call that person and label them clearly a leader. And you let them know, let the group knows, and everybody knows that this is a leader. Before they were just team members, now they grow to the next level, a leader. Now, if they grow to a level of not just ministering to a group, say for example, a teens chair is a leader. You could call them, now they start leading and developing leadership among the teens. Now they are growing, they have probably outdone their leadership term of maybe 2 years. And now they are like, now I need to see somebody else coming up in the teens, and they are coaching the teenagers to stand up and champion different things like camps. That very teenagers who is coaching other teenagers to join in leadership, we call them we call them coaches. We call them coaches, a coach. Thank God for my language. So they are coaching others. Since they are coaching others, we can call them, I suggest you call them coach. And then if we have them going forth and beyond the coaching level, and they are able now to join and partner with the youth and the women, and you can see them leading just a whole department of, say for example, fellowship leaders, then we can call them ministry directors. These are people who are connecting, they are working with their leaders, who are working with their groups, and now they are connecting that group to the other life groups around them. And this is where we have directors, because they are directing a lot of activities and a lot of team members to achieve a common goal. And then if they are leading the whole organization, as you'll see in my outline, I suggest that they be called an executive team leader. That means they are making a lot of decisions, and their decisions are binding, and they're taking a lot of responsibilities upon themselves, to God and to men, and even to the government. So uh, if you look at that language, then you're able to fit in your person and give proper titles based on their position. Now there is a crisis when you get a person who is just leading themselves and you call them an executive. It is traumatic, because the person is just learning how to lead themselves, and when you give them such a huge title and they do not know what that means, then they start feeling good for nothing, and no results are achieved, and there is a lot of crisis. And even if you got a coach, one who is coaching, and then you're placing them under, you're giving them a title of a leader, and they're already coaching others, and they're already feeling we are doing more, then it becomes a crisis. So giving your leadership pipeline the right language, as you see from my outlines, is also a very powerful thing that will help you establish the right system. So you have executive team leader, you have directors, you have coaches under them, and leaders under the coaches, and team members under the leaders. And once you have done this, the step number 3 then would be to build your organization structure, or develop your organization structure. And this is really putting it up into one page, putting all this your organization in one page, saying this is our leadership pipeline. And if you have never seen an organization structure, I've provided one. I believe many of us have interacted with them, and so and you are already going to develop one for your own organization and mission, so that it clarifies, and you will not have distractors coming in to be to offer you a lot of confusion in the name of advice. But you are able now to harness the resource that is very expensive, and this is human resource, through that organization structure that you have established, knowing I am requiring a worship leader, I'm requiring a Sunday school teacher, I'm requiring not a football coach, I'm not requiring you know what you don't want, and you know what you want. You have labeled them clearly, and even people can see it on that organogram, and they can say, hey, I've been called to serve right here. And it will be very easy for you when you have that kind of organization and system put forward. People will be able to interact with your vision and support it in amazing ways. So in working out this, it gives you a lot of clarity. So I will ask you that you take a moment and look at the outline and see the organization structure. You see how then it's put even in terms of the levels, the executives, the directors, the coaches, the team leaders, and the team members. You will see them right there, and you are able to see which one you don't need and which one you need. And that way God is going to bless you because of putting it like that. So this is a system, and it's a structure of leadership. There are many other systems that we're going to work on in the future, but for today, let's really consider system. And the first system is leadership leadership growth. How do we get human resource into our vision, and how do we grow them? This way they will feel well factored, and everybody will breathe in well, and there will be no confusion. You will not have people hijacking your vision. You will not have people frustrating your vision, because they already understand their position, as you put it. So it takes work to do this, but it provides clarity. It has a lot of benefits, really. It decreases stress. One of the benefits of doing an organogram is it decreases stress. It also shows more opportunity for service. People are able to see where to pledge. It also enhances soul care, because leaders who have been given their locations and their responsibility are able to care for members in a better way. But also it helps what we call leadership development, so that people can aspire to grow up the ladder, because they can see I'm right here and I need to grow and be the leader of this organization, and they can see the steps, and therefore they can even know the kind of training they need, and you're able to facilitate that as God enables you. So this leadership pipeline, you need to develop it. Identify one, develop one leadership structure in the early stage of your vision. Don't wait. Don't say, I have not developed so far. Don't wait. It is better you begin early, so that people coming into your ministry will find it already established, and they will find that they need, they will come and plug in on already established system. This is what I'm doing right here in North Harbour International Baptist. My first year, I called it the 0 year. It was all to establish systems and structures, so that as growth, as the Lord now pours people into this structure, they come and they find ways, an easier way of ministering to others. So may God help you as you execute the God-given vision to be able to incorporate not just the spiritual part of it, but also the structure. It's one and the same, by the way. Don't just remain in prayer, but also let the Lord lay it in your heart, the types of structures that you need, so that that ministry can go and grow, and you'll be a blessed person as you see the legacy of fruit-bearing ministry that God will help you begin. May the Lord bless you. I will go up to that point for now, and much later we'll consider other structures that we need to establish for our ministry. Key systems that one needs to set up, such as to help you manage funds. These are systems. When we talk about bank accounts, these are systems and structures to help you manage funds. But not just bank accounts, we are talking about systems to help you manage your assets. Stock lists, store management policies, and so all those are things that we need to factor in, and HR manuals, things like human resource policies in procedures. When you have a group of people, you will need really to engage human resource policies and procedures, so that you are in the right standing, even with the government and the expectation of the other people. We'll look at bylaws and constitution. These are systems that help people work together in unity, and I know God is going to bless you as we look up to this way of doing our God-given mission to bear fruit. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you. Goodbye.